The melody that I hum by one in ear, which tickles the inners of my harmonized lips and softens the furrows that cavern the edges of grief, brief in surrender. A wallow of sentiments which swells my visage blue, with a hollow complexion, pale upon my countenance. The urn that I sit beside, an antique, the heirloom I keep, weeps in the company we occupy. To wish on wheat, seldom. A Madonna, etched from quarry stone and clothed in polished marble, an import not from a local home. She now cinders asleep from flesh to bone, as ash cries and crackles, and settles where no eyes can own what her life had known. Over decades, her weapon of presence, the quintessent femme fatale, died a stranger to me. Only seen from a distance, with no name to whisper, her silhouette spoke no words in remembrance to a ghostly figure. Her beauty now petrified, death caresses her youth as she cried the calls, unanswered, humiliated, a lonely silk song. It's told that her beauty had threaded the purest of passions through the hardest of gems that base in men's chests, pumping desire. Rouge rose crystals in hollow cavities echo a thunderous melodrome in ache for her, yet no expressions of desire compelled their lips to spill such fiber. So she wandered in a ghostly silence, with strides of fragile sadness, through streets of elation, as sorrow pierces the tongue of one lonely somebody, found strung at night as the moon illuminates a woman named. A silent home atop the town sit packed and melancholic as bodies shuffle in and out in the wake over the sands of a soul clad in a silver urn. Patterned walls and floral furs, polished spoons and softened silks. A lively body once busied within these roots. No photo of her lined the mantle, and no family to speak of. No one could muster the courage to speak of her, for no one knew anything to speak of. The day dimmed to night, and the house lit up with light. As her belongings are sorted and levied, a diary in a wardrobe found the thoughts of the dead women penned in ink. Now the silent home atop the town cowers in shame, for the only words that remain are leather-bound and unclaimed. Whispers and chatter hum through the dreary halls as a sermon of this lady's thoughts are mouthed, drooled over without recourse. How can a soul bear the eyes of bare depravity decade on decade? She died a woman of value, but with none of her own, as only trinkets and treasures knew her whispers. Ransacked and indecent, what's left of a home only echoes the gags of departing invaders. And I too make my way out, with a journal and urn in arm. They were the only things left, and the home atop the town is stripped from its memory of. Still in death, a muse never rests, adorned in gold, an embossed statuette, memorialized and patterned, the saint of Glastonbury. All folk around grovel at her heels, scented and seen in this lively town, day in and day out. Now stood in a ghostly silence, with an anchored smile textured on a gloss facade, a figure of welcoming posture. I walk past this idol every day. The calendar strips by, and inking the days with saccharine dyes. The autumn leaves fall and frost under the windy moonlight. The snows of winter thaw over, as spring blossoms the pollen's waking yawns, and the summer insists a solstice of a shadowless noon. The anniversary of yesteryear's tears encroached on one cloudless sky, but the winds of the sea's tides carry along the ashes of a woman demystified. The journal I once read post-wake read of a woman named Kate, whose forlorn state endured an ache of never knowing home in the absent memories of her forebears. She, who wished to sail the sea, to leave the dainty town of Glastonbury in search of a name given by a family, written in haste on torn paper. Wrapped in sheets, asleep to a peep, Kate was left orphaned, abandoned with seeds of wheat. The completion of my read reached no ending, for before her journey beyond the sea began, on what she knew as her birth of 22, she strung her neck beneath a sycamore. A reject to blessings, she swayed to a peep, whilst her feet waltzed to a sleep. Her robes flailed and soaked in the heat as salt stained down her cheeks. Evermore she slept, once her dance exhausted its breath. Never known, Kate lived and died alone, nevermore to wish on wheat. A stone of 5 feet, neat and discreet, the sun rose beneath her feet.